Welcome, dear viewers, to a tale of power, prejudice, and rebellion, a story that goes far beyond the simple notion of good versus evil. Today, we unravel the complex and misunderstood life of Elphaba Throp, known to the world as the Wicked Witch of the West. But was she truly wicked, or was she a victim of her circumstances? Let's take a journey into the magical land of Oz, where a woman who was scorned for her differences dared to challenge the very system that oppressed her. The death of a witch. Our story begins in Munchkinland, where jubilation fills the air. The Munchkins are celebrating the death of the Wicked Witch of the West, a figure feared and hated by many. But as they sing and cheer, a glittering bubble descends from the sky, revealing Glinda the Good Witch. Glinda addresses the crowd, but her expression is far from joyous. As whispers among the Munchkins grow, someone asks Glinda if she had known the witch personally. She pauses, reflecting deeply, and finally responds, "Yes, we knew each other, once, long ago." What follows is Glinda's poignant recollection of Elphaba's life, a tale not of a wicked witch, but brave and misunderstood woman whose only crime was being different. Elphaba Throp's story begins with her birth, an event that would shape her entire life. Born to Governor Throp's wife and a mysterious traveling salesman, Elphaba entered the world with one shocking difference. Her skin was green. Her unique appearance immediately marked her as an outcast.
Take it away!
Her mother, unable to cope with the shame, sought comfort in various questionable remedies and substances during her subsequent pregnancies, which would later affect Elphaba's younger sister, Nessarose. Meanwhile, Elphaba's father, Governor Throp, treated her with disdain, blaming her for all the family's misfortunes. Elphaba's childhood was one of isolation and pain. Other children avoided her. Adults whispered behind her back. But beneath her green skin and sorrowful eyes lay an intelligence and strength that no one could see. Her only solace was her sister Nessarose, who, despite being confined to a wheelchair due to a birth defect, was loved and cherished by their father. Elphaba, by contrast, was forced to act as Nessarose's caretaker, a role she embraced out of love, though it deepened her feelings of inadequacy. The road to Shiz University. Years later, Elphaba and Nessarose were sent to Shiz University. Nessarose, their father's favorite, arrived in style, gifted a pair of enchanted silver shoes that allowed her to walk. Elphaba, meanwhile, was there merely to serve as her sister's companion, her father's instructions clear: watch over Nessarose. But fate had other plans. Shortly after arriving at Shiz, Elphaba's remarkable magical abilities were accidentally revealed during a heated moment in class. Madame Morrible, the ambitious headmistress of sorcery studies, immediately took notice. She offered Elphaba private tutelage, promising that her training would grant her an audience with the Wizard of Oz, a figure Elphaba idolized and believed could fix everything, even her green skin. Elphaba's heart soared with hope. Finally, a chance to change her destiny. But life at Shiz was far from easy. She was assigned a roommate, Galinda Upland, a vain and self-centered socialite who was horrified at the thought of sharing a room with someone like Elphaba. The two clashed from the start, their personalities as different as night and day. Life at Shiz wasn't all bad. Elphaba began to find a sense of belonging, though it came in unexpected ways. Her sister Nessarose befriended a kind-hearted munchkin boy named Bok, who secretly pined for Galinda. Meanwhile, Elphaba encountered Fiyero Tigelaar, a carefree and rebellious prince who seemed uninterested in the rules of society. In class, Elphaba developed a bond with Dr. Dillamond, a talking goat and professor of Ozian history. Dillamond confided in Elphaba that a growing wave of anti-animal sentiment was sweeping through Oz. Animals, those with the ability to speak and think, were being stripped of their rights, and some even lost their ability to speak altogether. This revelation ignited a fire in Elphaba's heart. She promised Dr. Dillamond that she would do whatever it took to help him and others like him, believing the wizard could put an end to such injustice. A dance, a hat, and an unlikely friendship. Fiyero organized a grand ball, an event that became a turning point for Elphaba and Galinda. Hoping to humiliate Elphaba, Galinda gifted her a hideous black hat, encouraging her to wear it to the dance. But when Elphaba arrived, boldly donning the hat, she became the subject of ridicule. Unexpectedly, guilt gnawed at Galinda. She approached Elphaba, extended her hand, and invited her to dance. It was an act of kindness that marked the beginning of their friendship. From that moment on, the walls between them began to crumble. Galinda shared her popular tips with Elphaba, teaching her how to embrace her individuality. For the first time in her life, Elphaba felt seen, not as a burden or an outcast, but as a person. Elphaba's journey to the Emerald City with Glinda was filled with wonder and excitement. She marveled at the city's beauty, her hope renewed, but her meeting with the wizard would shatter those dreams. At first, the wizard appeared kind and grandfatherly, welcoming Elphaba with open arms. He handed her the Grimoire, a powerful spellbook, and encouraged her to try a spell. To her horror, the spell caused his monkey servants to sprout wings, transforming them into tools of oppression. Elphaba realized the truth. The wizard was no savior. He was the orchestrator of the very injustices she wanted to fight. Enraged and heartbroken, she fled the Emerald City, leaving Glinda behind. The birth of the Wicked Witch. Elphaba's defiance came at a cost. Madame Morrible branded her as the Wicked Witch of the West, turning public opinion against her. Meanwhile, Elphaba embraced her identity as an outcast, using her newfound powers to challenge the wizard's regime. Back at Shiz, chaos ensued. Fiero, now deeply in love with Elphaba, abandoned his privileged life to join her. In Munchkinland, their father's death left Nessarose in charge, her bitterness and loneliness growing. A revolution begins. Elphaba's journey westward marked the start of her rebellion. She vowed to fight for those who could not fight for themselves, like embracing the role the world had forced upon her. As she soared through the skies on her enchanted broomstick, she accepted her destiny, not as a villain, but as a warrior for justice. Elphaba's story is a testament to the strength it takes to defy societal expectations and fight for what is right, even when the world sees you as an enemy. Her life reminds us that good and evil are rarely black and white. So, was Elphaba truly wicked? Or was she a misunderstood hero who stood against tyranny? That's for you to decide. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Elphaba Throp. Until next time, stay curious, and remember, even the wicked deserve a second look.